Hello, Charlie Liang.
Hello, Kathy. How are you?
Very good to see you. So, Charlie, you are the Operations Director of CLPM. Would you like to tell us what CLPM stands for and to
Ooh,
introduce CLPM?
sure. Well, we call ourselves very grandly a project consultancy. So we look at various different parts of construction projects. We have a QS team that looks after everything numbers and contract related. So tries to uh, sets initial budgets. I think we work with you a fair amount on trying to determine how much a project is going to cost. And then that team will go on to find contractors to carry out the work. And then the bit that I head up, the project management team, we try to control the works on site. So does the builder know what he's doing? Is he on site? Does he has he thought far enough ahead about what might be coming up, and is he then doing the work right? So trying to give you and your clients reassurance that actually you're getting what you designed and that you're paying for the work that you should be paying for.
And
There's
where
a
are
bit of
your
client management, probably, trying to make sure the
yeah?
client's making decisions as well. There will be a bit of that, but mainly it's looking after that contractor and trying to make sure they don't stop.
Of course. Where are your projects located?
So I have a team of 8 project managers working with me. We cover a pretty decent geography up to Birmingham and across. We have one project manager living in Gloucester. So each of our project managers, we don't like to travel much more than an hour.
Of course.
But that means that he can get into Wales and down to Bristol and Bath. We have a project manager in Oxfordshire, one in Maidenhead, one in Fulham, one in Camden, one in Datchet, one in St Albans, one in Amersham. And we're actually looking at trying to get one to deal with sort of South London, Surrey area at the moment. We want to get national, Kathy. We want to get national.
Of course,
Get up to
absolutely.
Manchester. We haven't
Absolutely.
quite got there yet, and we're not international like you. How many countries have you built in?
So far, officially, the office is located in 2. We cover 2 locations. That is Southeast London, Southeast, and the home counties. And currently established an office in Sofia, Bulgaria. And
how many languages do you speak?
Well, formally and fluently 4, and another 3 on the go. I could get by.
3 that you can get by. I mean, that's
Yes.
just one of the things that I think is remarkable about working with you and it's not only clients that you can talk to so many clients, but the range of consultants and indeed the contractors that you can
That is
sit in a
true.
meeting with, and you'll know what they're up to.
I have been eavesdropping occasionally on conversations.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
must say that the collaboration with CLPM over the last 3 years, 4 projects now, it has been absolutely a fantastic offer of support, professionalism, accountability, demanding accountability from the contractor. It has been a fantastic collaboration. I am really indeed indebted and grateful for this.
Well, that's always great to hear. Thank you. I, I think it's partly though because of the interesting projects that you always bring to us. I mean, I think that's one of yours in the background, isn't it?
It is. It is. In fact, it is. This is the old forge, and Frank Elliott is your project manager dealing with the job on site.
And that's a remarkable project, isn't it? Because it's not a standard building by
No,
any
it is
stretch of the
not.
imagination.
It is an old forge and an old electrical substation, which was converted. Now we are converting it into a 2-bedroom house, due to be finished hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it is still
And
on site. It's just a beautiful project, taking advantage of an old edifice, an old building, and developing that into a 2-built house.
And it's in a conservation area, I think. So getting
Indeed,
planning for it in the first place was interesting.
indeed. We needed to go through planning on two occasions for two separate extensions, and it had so many things and factors to be accounted for. Albeit being a very small building, it proved to be one of the most complex jobs I have looked at in the most recent years.
And then you've had permitted development issues as well, haven't you? Because you know you want to be able to
Correct.
get permitted development, but obviously you
Yes,
can't do that
that's
until
right.
you, yeah.
And we needed also to do a bat survey at some point because it was in a green belt as well. So it covered a substantial amount of legwork we had to do in order to achieve to reach that point. And
I know
Frank,
it was, yeah, it was very interesting for us trying to get the contractor appointed, knowing that there's going to be additional work. So trying to look after the client, you to get a contractor appointed for phase one with a way of rolling over prices so that you don't
absolutely,
you still have
absolutely,
some form of negotiation and scope to
yeah.
argue with that contractor about rates for phase two.
I can't be grateful. I can't stress enough how pivotal Frank's role has been for the job. Being on site, delivering, managing the deliveries, it has been absolutely invaluable.
Well, I happened to be passing actually last week, and I certainly know the outside. The windows and the brickwork were looking fantastic. So it is nearly there.
Yes,
So
getting
yeah,
there.
we'll be handing it over pretty shortly.
I wanted to ask you something else. In the past, well, now a year and a half, we have experienced the corona, the COVID, with
Yeah.
lockdowns and etc. Um, how do you feel? What has changed? How the COVID has, the pandemic has impacted your business broadly and the
Did,
industry?
did we do any meetings like this 2 years ago?
No, we didn't. Indeed, we didn't. But is that the only thing that has changed?
No, but I think it is a remarkable thing. I mean,
It is.
we might have been in a coffee shop or something like that, which would have been uh, fantastic. But the opportunity to have these meetings, um, you almost at the drop of a hat, yeah. I
Yes.
think that is something that construction's pretty, particularly the on-site bit. You in the design crew, you're quite tech savvy, yeah. But us lot on site, I mean, we're dunderheads, yeah.
Yeah.
So to get us using technology like this, yeah, has been remarkable. And then the ability, particularly, to communicate with clients and with design teams who aren't always very close, yeah, it
Yeah.
just opens up such huge possibilities. And you then allied to things like WhatsApp calls or WhatsApp groups, it means that potential for communication is just
Vast.
so much enhanced.
Yeah.
Um, which particularly on domestic projects, yeah, where the reporting structure, I mean, the reporting structure is always clear, but is often, should we say, subverted by the client, or we have to recognise that we're building people's houses, don't we? And they're
Yeah.
very emotionally involved. Then I think these sorts of communication tools have been fantastic. Do I is it a plus? COVID having forced us to do this? Obviously not. But we were we were very scared. I think, at the start of lockdown, we
Of
assumed that
course.
all the projects would grind to a halt. I guess
Of course.
I guess you did too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we had 40 projects on the go at that time. Only six actually shut. Six is
Hmm.
still a lot, but probably within about a month, four of those six had reopened. So we
Yeah.
we probably only had two that went on stop for any for any length of time, which is phenomenally lucky. And I think pays tribute to my team and to people like yourselves who are finding ways to work and keep the projects going. We work with an awful lot of small contractors. They weren't going to earn any money, so they were very positive about finding ways to work safely, but
Yes, of course.
legitimately. I don't know how did you find
I
it?
found it astounding to see the audacity, flexibility. Everyone was open to communicate and to find, as you say, ways to communicate, WhatsApp groups. And I found in due course it was really interesting that Zoom and other platforms allowed me a lot more flexibility to attend meetings at short notice. At the same time, it opened up so many more projects, availability for projects. I have clients in Kuwait. I had clients in South Africa. They were prevented from traveling. We were all
Yeah,
homebound. And that actually progressed a lot of design work could have been done whilst everyone sitting at home. And a lot
yeah.
of decisions, they were freer to make the decisions that we need as design input from the clients.
Did
Um,
you find that then led to 24-hour working?
I'm not going to lie to you. There was a point where I was thinking that it was in the close of 16 and 18 hours work days where you're receiving WhatsApp late at night from another travel zone.
Yeah,
Yes, it was. It became, but now I think things are people are learning also how to live with it across the
yeah.
globe, and it is, of course, with vaccinations rollout and etc. People are more relaxed coming out, and it is nice to get together again and see projects and clients and etc. But it's also having that availability of having the Zoom call, at from the convenience of my own home. It's actually I really welcome that change. Instead
Yeah.
of it's saving a lot of time in terms of traveling in London within meetings. Sometimes I would have 3 meetings a day, and you're just wasting a lot of time commuting, and that saves a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it means we are much more cost efficient because you don't
Absolutely.
have to build in the
Yeah.
travel cost.
Yeah.
I mean, we're actually about to launch a virtual service,
Oh,
um, so people will be able to book small chunks of time, um, to get construction advice either through sort of regular stages of a project or just when they have a nightmare or a problem. So
yeah. Excellent.
we
My next question was to do with the other big topic of the year is, of course, Brexit. Have you noticed any effect of Brexit on your big business or broadly on the construction industry?
Can I park the Brexit part? I can tell you about the stresses that we're suffering on
Of
site
course.
at the moment, and people can decide
Of course.
why those issues are being felt. But what I can say at the moment is that construction seems quite busy,
Yes,
and that
indeed.
getting hold of materials, getting hold of people, good people to do the work, and getting hold of the materials to enable them to do it is proving really tricky.
So,
Um,
are you saying that you have noted certain shortages of
yeah,
materials?
absolutely. So most materials are in huge demand at the moment. So I was on, for example, a project last month, where the roof tiles that the client was being offered were on a 26-week lead-in. I mean, that's
Oh,
roof tiles. It's utterly
yes.
bananas. Yeah. We've got a project at the moment. We've demolished the client's house. Yeah. The bricks have turned out to be on a 20-week lead-in. So we've gone back to the council. We've managed to source some alternative bricks. We've gone back to the council to get those approved, but the council have said they don't like the colour on those alternative bricks. So thankfully we've got some reasonable connections with some brick companies. We're sourcing a third alternative, but the material availability and we hear all sorts of stories about why that is. Americans buying up plywood for their projects, other countries having a shortage of various materials. So whether it's Brexit related or what, I don't know, but the materials are in short supply. And then of course the price rises that are going along with that. Yeah, steel, plasterboard, plaster, all sorts of material prices, just yeah, going up a lot at the moment. And the contractual issues that's already bringing into focus, I have to say.
Yes.
Um, Contractors who are signed up on fixed price contracts, quite rightly, but they're potentially trying to renegotiate those, and any contractor who isn't currently signed up on the dotted line being very nervous about signing up at the moment. So our QS and procurement team having to get quite creative with how they set up contracts is certainly something that we're sort of being aware of, and unfortunately, it means a bit of a boom in projects that are hitting difficulties at the moment, which are never projects that we really like getting involved with. But we do have a couple of members of the team who seem to be able to manage those tense situations on site quite well, and concentrate on getting the project through to completion. So we're quite lucky there. What about you on your stuff? What are you finding?
Interestingly, because we are at the forefront of the construction process, the design needed to be changed on several projects where the clients really wished to outsource elements from abroad, say Spanish or Italian marble, with respectively kitchen or bathroom elements. And now with less to do with exchange rate, because that hasn't changed. It's more to do with the supply chain and lead times, really. So we had to change some of those elements. These minor changes, but you do feel that at the moment, instead of specifying elements that I wish to specify and satisfy the client's taste, I need to revert to the British market, which is fantastic on the other hand, because that oils the local wheels of the British economy, which is much needed. So, there are ups and downs of the elements of work, and we see both.
Are you finding, again, you're on the design stage, so you're
Yeah.
getting the project to site? There is a little bit of time with many of your projects before getting there, isn't it? But we do have one
Yes.
or two clients who are saying to us, actually, I don't want to sign up a contractor actually this side of Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is quite depressing, because the projects are good to
Yeah.
go, but they are already
Exactly.
saying, I don't know what's happening with prices. Let's just wait until
Exactly.
it calms down.
We have one project, mutual project with CLPM, that is in North London. It is a 6-bed,
Yeah,
8-bedroom house.
yeah,
And because of Brexit, or not, I can't tell, but the cost evaluation came a little bit higher than the expectation, and the project is being shelved at the moment. So I think it will come back on the books and later on this year, but we're just waiting to see. A little bit of a lighter question I have towards the end, if I may.
yes.
We've stayed at lockdowns, in and out of lockdowns, and spent insurmountable time at home. I'm just wondering, what books have you been reading? What music have you been listening to?
Right. So I am a sad member of a book club. Yeah. So with a few friends, I am a member of a book club, and we've still been meeting. We've transferred our meetings to Zoom, but
Excellent.
actually that's worked quite well. Um, so our last book was the Booker Prize winner called Shuggie Bain, which is it's a tale of life in Scotland during the 70s. It's an amazing book, just a fantastic book. Um, it's not the easiest read the world's ever seen, I have to say, but but yeah, I would really recommend that to you. Yeah, just makes you think about all that potential that is out there that somehow we don't make best use of, and we see a bit of that in construction. You know, we work with a lot of people who are fiercely intelligent, but intelligent in possibly different ways. Yeah,
Mm.
they may not be book intelligent, but you ask them to add something up and they get it. Yeah, you ask them to visualize something and they absolutely get it. Yeah, and it's these definitions of intelligence and worth that I don't know. It's a little bugbear of me, of mine. You know, we seem to value one type of intelligence over
Mm.
above all others, and you know, that's something we have to just be careful of. The music's most of my music is still on cassette.
Interesting.
The kids are trying to educate me to Spotify, but I've bought myself a lockdown treat was buying myself a converter. So
Mhm.
I'm slowly moving my cassette to MP3 and
That must be a
digitizing.
treasure, having at home cassettes.
So, I am able to record a new cassette whilst doing work from home, and suddenly I'm listening to Tina Turner or some nice Bach or Handel or something like that, you know, which I actually haven't listened to probably for sort of 10, 15 years, some of these cassettes. So,
Anything to
so
raise a smile on our face these
it's
days.
quite good
So,
fun. Do you find time to
well,
read?
well, it is a struggle, but I came across a very interesting book about our ego, personal ego, how it influences our work, and that the most successful people are actually not driven by ego, but they're driven by delivering for others. And I felt enormously inspired by the book. And about music, I love the Irish singer, Roisin Murphy, and she has been producing amazing music, and I'm a huge fan. So everything she produces, I'm a huge fan. Charlie, thank you this
Not
afternoon
at all.
for having chat with me. Thank you, I really appreciate it,
Very good to see you.
and we're looking forward
I
to
do
catch
hope
up
we
on
get to meet up in person soon.
soon, very soon, hopefully.